Baseball, a game of inches, a game of moments, and sometimes, a game decided by a call that leaves everyone scratching their heads. For New York Yankees fans who stayed up late to watch their team battle the Seattle Mariners this past Tuesday night, one name is likely stuck in their minds, and probably not for a good reason. Home plate umpire Mark Wegner. Because a crucial call in a tight game led to a dramatic ejection and an explosion of frustration from the Bronx faithful. The game was locked in a tense 1-1 tie. Heading into the bottom of the ninth inning, every pitch, every call felt magnified with the potential for extra innings looming. Up to the plate for the Yankees came designated hitter Jasson Domínguez. And then, it happened, a strike call that immediately drew the ire of the Yankees dugout. The pitch, by all appearances and the reaction from everyone watching, seemed to be outside the strike zone, but Mark Wegner called it strike 2. The reaction from the Yankees dugout was immediate and furious. Manager Aaron Boone, already feeling the tension of a close game and likely frustrated by the team's offensive struggles, they managed only one run despite a strong start from Luis Gil, erupted. He charged out of the dugout, heading straight for Wegner. The argument was heated, intense, and didn't last long before Wegner did what umpires do when a manager argues balls and strikes with that level of intensity. He ejected Aaron Boone from the game. Boone's frustration didn't subside after the ejection or even after the game, which the Yankees went on to lose 2-1 in extra innings. Speaking to reporters in his post-game press conference, Boone didn't mince words. He stood by his belief that it was a critical error by the veteran umpire. As Boone told reporters, according to The Athletic, it was a bad call. And everybody knew it. And it wasn't just Aaron Boone who thought so. Social media, particularly X, Twitter, immediately exploded. Yankees fans, already disappointed by the extra innings loss and the team's inability to generate offense, channeled their frustration directly at Mark Wegner. The outrage was palpable. The posts online, while often filled with profanity that we can't repeat verbatim, clearly showed the depth of feeling. Fans didn't just disagree with the call, they were personally offended by it and Wegner's performance throughout the game. One user's sentiment, common among the replies, was blunt and demanding. Mark Wegner should be fired immediately. What a expletive clown. He's been horrendous all night. Another user echoed the feeling that this performance was simply not good enough for the highest level of professional baseball. He doesn't need to be umping big league games with that expletive. The language was heated, yes, but the core message was consistent: frustration with umpire inconsistency and a demand for accountability. One fan, venting online, used sarcasm directed at Wegner's reaction to the argument. "I would say to get better. But your reaction just screams that you need to expletive off and go to the minors." The most common refrain, however, connected this specific incident to the broader debate about the future of umpiring. Posts directly referenced the need for automated technology. As one user wrote, reflecting the sentiment of many, "It's crazy to me that you can do your job so expletive bad and then get all butthurt when called out on it. This is the expletive that makes robot umps a necessary thing." Significantly, this wasn't just Yankees fans complaining after a loss. Reports indicated that even fans rooting for the winning team, the Seattle Mariners, agreed that the call on Domínguez was bad and that Wegner had struggled throughout the game. As one Mariner fan reportedly wrote, perhaps with a touch of relief that it didn't cost their team. Good for him as a Mariner fan. Ump has been awful all night. When fans on both sides of a close game agree the ump is having a bad night, it speaks volumes. There's also the potential for further consequences. Reports noted that Aaron Boone appeared to make contact with Mark Wegner during their heated argument. While it's unclear if MLB will take action, managers making contact with umpires during ejections can sometimes lead to suspensions. So, the fallout from that ninth inning call might not be over for Boone either. This incident, like the one we discussed recently involving umpire Adrian Johnson and the Twins-Giants game, highlights the ongoing tension in baseball surrounding the human element of officiating. When a crucial call in a tight game, especially late, appears to be incorrect and directly leads to a manager's ejection and fuels fan outrage, it inevitably brings the conversation back to the need for consistency in the strike zone and the possibility of automated ball strike systems. How many more controversial calls How many more manager ejections? How many more nights of fan frustration will we see before Major League Baseball makes a significant change to address the consistency of balls and strikes? The Mark Wegner game in New York is just the latest flashpoint in a debate that continues to intensify with every questionable call in a big moment. And for Yankees fans, it was a frustrating, late-night reminder of the unpredictable nature of the human element behind home plate. Controversy erupted during the New York Yankees' 2-1 extra innings loss to the Seattle Mariners on Tuesday night, centering around the calls made by home plate umpire Mark Wegner and his ejection of Yankees manager Aaron Boone. The incident has led to significant backlash from fans, with many calling for the veteran umpire to be removed from his position. The pivotal moment came in the ninth inning when Wegner called a strike on designated hitter Jasson Domínguez that was widely disputed. The call immediately drew the ire of Domínguez and prompted Aaron Boone to rush out of the dugout. The argument that ensued quickly led to Boone's ejection from the game. Following the loss, a visibly frustrated Aaron Boone didn't mince words, telling reporters that it was, quote, a bad call and everybody knew it, unquote. Reports also indicate that Boone appeared to make contact with Wegner during the heated exchange, which could potentially result in disciplinary action from Major League Baseball. On social media, Yankees fans were quick to rally behind their manager and unleash their fury on Wegner. Posts demanding his immediate firing, criticizing his performance throughout the game, and expressing exasperation with what they saw as consistently poor judgment flooded platforms like X, Twitter. The frustration was so intense that it even led to renewed calls for the implementation of automated strike zones in baseball. Notably, the criticism wasn't limited to Yankees faithful. Even some Mariners fans agreed that Wegner had an awful night behind the plate. The incident highlights the ongoing tension surrounding umpire accuracy in baseball and the passionate reactions it can ignite among players, managers, and fans, especially in crucial late-game situations. Controversy erupted during the New York Yankees' 2-1 extra innings loss to the Seattle Mariners on Tuesday night, centering around the calls made by home plate umpire Mark Wegner and his ejection of Yankees manager Aaron Boone. The incident has led to significant backlash from fans, with many calling for the veteran umpire to be removed from his position. The pivotal moment came in the ninth inning when Wegner called a strike on designated hitter Jasson Domínguez that was widely disputed. The call immediately drew the ire of Domínguez and prompted Aaron Boone to rush out of the dugout. The argument that ensued quickly led to Boone's ejection from the game. Following the loss, a visibly frustrated Aaron Boone didn't mince words, telling reporters that it was, quote, a bad call and everybody knew it, unquote. Reports also indicate that Boone appeared to make contact with Wegner during the heated exchange, which could potentially result in disciplinary